Let's talk about an unfortunate list of injuries for the Arizona Cardinals, Week 1 power rankings for the Chiefs, then look at the updated court cases of both defensive end Frank Clark and Coach Reid's son, Britt Ried. But first, how about those? What's up, guys? My name is Cole, aka the Red-Bearded Wisdom Wizard Cherokee Chop Leader, or sometimes known as the Red-Bearded Yoda of Chiefs News. I am, and I do daily news about the Kansas City Chiefs, so make sure to sub if you're new, hit that like button if you think Patrick Mahomes is the majority owner of the great value Walmart Broncos, who, by the way, have not won a game against the Chiefs since same-sex marriage became a constitutional right in the United States. Yeah. That freaking long ago, it's crazy, they suck. All right, let's move into some injury reports for Sunday's game against the Cardinals, because as far as injuries go, the Chiefs are all good. That's right, no injuries. Now, Frank Clark was someone I was a bit worried about, as he didn't practice a lot of this week due to an illness, and a lot of people, myself included, assumed that he wasn't feeling well due to his stomach issue that he's been dealing with off and on for a while now, at least a year, maybe more. But no, Jesse Newell of the KC Star reported that Frank Clark said in the locker room that he got sick with COVID-19 a week ago. Since then, he's dealt with some dehydration, but is ready for Arizona and expects to be full strength by Sunday. So that's certainly good news, and I'm glad he's recovering well from COVID, as I believe he said it was his first time ever getting it, and it can hit some people hard for the first time, so seems like it was mild for him, I hope. Now, while all the other Chiefs players are healthy, they still only have 52 players on their roster right now, as they moved tight end Blake Bell to IR and still haven't replaced him with anyone else at the moment. Maybe the Chiefs will wait until after Sunday's game before making any moves to save some money. We shall soon see. And as far as Cardinals injury go, well, they are not so lucky. Mike Garofalo said on Twitter today, Cardinals list J.J. Watt and tight end Zach Ertz is questionable with calf injuries for Sunday versus the Chiefs. Watt didn't practice all week. Ertz was limited today. Also, cornerback Trayvon Mullen toe is out, while cornerback Brian Murphy illness is questionable. Cards already thin at corner. Another player to note is wide receiver Rondale Moore, as he aggravated his hamstring yesterday, I think at practice, and is set to be getting an MRI soon, but has been ruled out for Sunday's game, as well as offensive lineman Cody Ford. Should have drove a Chevy. So the Cardinals definitely have some injury issues, to say the least, and I never wish injuries on anyone, but hey, I'm not really complaining here this week. All right, we got to move on from injuries to something I don't really want to talk about, but feel like you should all at least be in the know if you don't know already. And this is the status on a couple of court cases involving Chiefs defensive end Frank Clark and Andy Reid's son, Britt Ried. Let's talk about Britt Ried first. It's way heavier. On September 6th, it was noted by Dan Wetzel that Britt Ried will plead guilty next week on charges of driving while intoxicated in the 2021 accident that left 5-year-old Ariel Young seriously injured. Reid, then an assistant on his father's Kansas City Chiefs staff, is facing a maximum of 7 years in prison. And according to Ellen Mathis, a lawyer and also contributor for Arrowhead Addict, this typically means that in exchange for a lesser charge or the prosecutor suggesting a shorter sentence, smaller fines, etc., Reid is going to plead guilty. This takes the case out of the hands of the jury and guarantees what his charges will be. A judge is certainly able to reject a plea deal, which is incredibly rare. And on Monday, Reid will appear in front of the judge along with the prosecutor and admit to what he did, which we believe is driving under the influence, causing extensive injuries and lifelong struggles for Ariel Young. As noted, these charges could come with a maximum sentence of 7 years in prison. Things such as prior charges may influence the judge to impose a tougher sentence, while his attorney may present mitigating factors that could lessen the sentence. It is unlikely he is sentenced on Monday, but sentencing could be set for a different day. Regardless, this begins to provide some resolution to a terrible situation. So yeah, this is a really freaking terrible situation indeed, and I feel for Ariel and her family. I mean, when this happened, my daughter was 5, so couldn't imagine that happening. Thankfully, though, she's still alive and is receiving top-of-the-line medical care, as a deal was reached between the family and the Chiefs back in November, and the deal was described as a comprehensive care plan that provides Ariel with world-class medical care and long term financial responsibility. The details, though, of the agreement remain confidential, but hopefully between this and Britt Ried being sentenced, her family will feel at least some sort of peace. And the next court case is not nearly as heavy, and that is about Frank Clark and his bad Uzi-wielding habits last year. Jesse Newell reported that Frank Clark pleaded no contest on Wednesday and received informal probation and 40 hours of community service. Ellen Mathis, again, the lawyer and contributor for Arrowhead Addict, weighed on this court case as well, saying Clark, if you recall, was driving around with weapons. He didn't shoot any, I'm just kidding. And facing charges as a result on Wednesday. Clark did not contest the charges and accepted probation and community service. This is unsurprising, as relatively minor charges such as these typically end in probation, fines, and community service. Clark now has to stay out of trouble for 1 year to avoid additional punishment and do community service. According to the KC Star, Clark also previously fulfilled a request by the judge to host 4 free youth football camps. This is another good development because it means Clark will now only be distracted by his frequent illnesses. And Frank Clark's response to the case coming to a close was this. It was a huge relief. First and foremost, though, I've got to thank my lawyers and all those people who had my best interests and stuff like that. Los Angeles County, the judge, and the DA for being patient with me. Like I said before, you make a mistake. It's about how you stand up and be a stand-up guy about it, not about the ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's about you being a stand-up guy and making it right. And that's what I did. Let the system play out how it's going to play out, like I always said. And it played out in my favor. Thank God. Just thankful to be moving forward now. So there you go. Frank Clark is now free as long as he does his community service and stays out of trouble. Britt Ried, on the other hand, seems to be potentially looking at years of prison time. What are your thoughts on these court cases? Did Frank Clark get off easy? Are you glad they all seem to be coming to an end with resolution taking place? What about Britt Ried? Do you think he should be in prison for a while for going 84 miles an hour while intoxicated, allegedly, and really doing some damage to this little girl and her family? Let me know your thoughts on all this in the comments down below. And honestly, I find it impossible as Derek Carr winning in the postseason, to end today's video on a note such as these court cases. So let's instead end looking at the Chiefs' power rankings going into week 1. They're a bit all over the place, mostly in the top 5, but one place has them outside of the top 5, even though they've literally finished 4th place or better 4 years in a row. Let's start off by looking at what Dan Hansis has to say about the Kansas City Chiefs. Yes, because he's the one that put them in 7th. But first, let's look at the rest of the AFC West. In 11th, he has the Raiders, who now have Devontae Adams, which I guess somehow makes a mid QB like Derek Carr great. In 9th is the Chargers, in which Justin Herbert may win MVP, but for some reason can't even win a single playoff game. In 8th is the Broncos, because Russell Wilson got paid a bunch of money, so yeah, they are now elite and broke. And then in 7th is the Kansas City Chiefs. And one thing that's interesting to note here is how close the power rankings for the entire division were, according to this author. Raiders 11th, Chargers 9th, Broncos 8th, and Chiefs 7th. And what is said about the Chiefs here, you ask? Well, basically Tyreek Hill is gone, blah, blah, blah. And while Mahomes may miss Tyreek, author Dan the Man Hansis is confident that Mahomes and Andy Reid will reinvent the offensive attack and unleash a fresh assault on the enemy this season. A fresh assault? I like that. But how the heck are the Chiefs ranked 7th, Dan? Come on, dude. I also am not personally a fan of ranking the Broncos over the Chargers. What the heck are you even thinking? And in case you all were wondering, here's how the rest of this list looks. In 6th place, it's the Packers, Bengals at 5th, Buccaneers 4th, 49ers 3rd, Rams are 2nd, and then the Buffalo Bills are at the top of the list. No real surprises with the top 5 teams, though I would argue that the Chiefs should probably be in there somewhere and ranked higher than some of these other teams, but oh well, I suppose. And if we look at some of the other rankings, power rankings, ESPN ranked the Chiefs 4th overall, listing the impact newcomer as Furious George Karlaftis and the player on the hot seat as Clyde Edwards-Helaire. The Athletic ranked the Chiefs 2nd, only outside of the LA Rams, which we all know the Rams got absolutely spanked on their buttocks by the Bills last night, so I bet they wish they could have that ranking back. CBS Sports ranked the Chiefs in 3rd, as well as Yahoo Sports. But honestly, who the heck reads Yahoo Sports? This isn't 2005, so no thank you. Do you all agree with these power rankings for the most part? Let me know which ones you agree with, and also let me know why Sir Dan of NFL.com is simply wrong by ranking the Chiefs in 7th. Make sure to leave a bearded comment or super thanks to potentially be featured in an upcoming vid. Sub like you know the freaking deal, and then check out this video here, pew pew, from the Scrambling Armchair on his 5 thoughts on the Chiefs versus Cardinals. And until next time, let's go. Let's freaking go. How about those?